Introduction, I'm Joan MacGregor. I have lived in the Canyon Country community or the Santa Clarita community for over 45 years. I've been to many of your meetings over the years, not so many recently, and I have to say some of that is due to Alan and the technical crew putting it on YouTube. I watched them all, and I'm fortunate to see the information that is shared with all of you. Sometimes scheduling prevents me to be here that night. I, again, want to thank you for allowing us to speak about College of the Canyons, not just the Canyon Country site, but College of the Canyons. I want to make two quick introductions. Besides Edel, who's here and is a fellow trustee, and I'll introduce her in a minute, I also want to introduce another trustee, Michelle Jenkins, who's in the audience. Michelle, I know, was at your last meeting and under announcements gave some information regarding the Canyon Country Campus celebration. And I want to introduce Dr. Ryan Thule, who's in the back, who is our Vice President of the Canyon Country Campus and has just led a grueling weekend and week of preparation for that big celebration. I know some of you may have been able to get up to the Canyon Country site over this last weekend to celebrate 10 years. I know I saw Alan at the dinner Friday night, and then Saturday was a fun day of lots of activities for families and everyone to come up. So again, I want to thank you for the opportunity. In the past, when I've come before you, I've been asking you for something. I've spoken to you numerous times about bond issues, specifically C&M. I also, in fact, because I chaired the Sulphur Springs bond issue, I came and spoke about CK also. But I asked you for that support, and you gave it to us via votes, and we passed those bonds. We've passed 3 bonds, actually, and that is what has created, in part, the Canyon Country site. Measure C, which was the first one we passed, basically helped us to purchase the land. And we bought the acreage up on Sierra Highway. How many of you have been to the Canyon Country campus? Raise a hand. Well, I hope the rest of you get a chance to get up there. If nothing else, drive through the campus. I do that every few weeks. I just drive slowly, drive through the campus so that you can see what's up there. There's a lot going on. It's just north of here. On Sierra Highway on the right-hand side, and we encourage you to come and see the kinds of things we're doing there. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. We have some handouts. One is on the Canyon Country site, all the things that have been happening there, and it's kind of an update on programs. I know Michelle went over a couple of events with you last time. The Star Party now is coming up. We've had the celebration for the 10 years, which I can't believe because I remember coming and talking to you that this was going to be built. And it's here and there, and students, many students have been there. But in addition to that, we also have a Career Pathways book. It's called The Pathfinder, and I gave these out. If you didn't get one, please let us know. We'll give you one. Just in general terms about the college, I want you to know about these programs because I think they're extremely important. Many of our students want to take a 2-year program and go out in the workforce or start their career. They may take these particular programs and earn their certificates, and then go on to a transfer program to go on to a 4-year. So we have lots of opportunities, but what I like about this book, and many people have commented to me, people say, I had no idea you had that program. And over 13 of these programs are actually offered at the Canyon Country campus. The rest are at our Valencia campus. But in addition, many classes can be taken at both campuses, and most of our students do that. So again, I hope you enjoy this book because it also goes into what that career, what potential salaries, what potential jobs can you actually get from earning this certificate. And I think that that's a very practical matter in this day and age. I also want to, in general, talk with you. I remember this group, and I think I arranged some of the meetings over at our Access Center when we first met about 15, 16 years ago, I think, with Judy and Alan were involved. Even then, we were a small group, but I remember we met over at the Canyon Country Access Center, which was basically the area that we leased at the library, the brand new library, and we leased that space for classrooms until our Canyon Country campus was built. So I remember that. I remember those meetings back, we won't say, I think it was, as I say, 15, 16 years ago. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we do as a college, the kinds of things that we do. Career education is extremely important, and I've addressed that. Our transfer program is so important. And one of the things that Alan mentioned first was in regards to recent legislation, in fact, signed yesterday by the governor, which in effect is something that we've already done at College of the Canyons. We started early, which is our way. We're unique in that we tend to reach out and see what the needs are of our community, of our students, of our faculty. What do we need to do to make our college even better, be more accessible to students, be more diversified, be able to offer the programs that are needed. Then we also work, of course, with businesses on economic development. But basically, one of the things we started a year ago, a little over a year ago in discussions, but is College Promise, the College Promise program. And that is basically funded right now by grant money in our foundation, our wonderful foundation, which is made up of donors who have donated to this campaign. Now the state has said this campaign, in effect, is going to go statewide, and it is going to be, we hope, funded in part by the state. Sometimes the governor and the legislators pass things, but they don't have the funding part in place yet, and so what we're hoping. But at our college, we're already serving over 200 students this year under the College Promise program. And that first year of college is really, really important for students. We feel if we can get the students interested, successful, that they will stay. And that's one of the problems that many of them have is cost. And cost is a problem even at the community colleges. I remember when I first started as a trustee, they were free. It's now $46 a unit. But again, it's the other costs, the books, the fees, and so forth, sometimes that are just overwhelming. And I know that we have many students that are struggling, they're working, they may have a family, sometimes they're single mothers, maybe they're returning veterans. We have programs for all of those types of students, but it is still financially difficult for many of them. So the First Year Promise is a great program. There are a few criteria. It is not based on financial need necessarily, but it does cover the costs of going the first year to college. So we're excited that the governor, the legislature is behind this statewide, but as I say, we started a year ago at College of the Canyons. But there are some specific classes you need to take. You need to be able to have a pathway, which is another term that's being used a lot nowadays at the college programs, and it's the idea that students need to have a focus. Many times students had come to the college and stayed for years and years and years and changed majors and did lots of things, and now we can't afford that in this state. We can't afford it, you can't afford it. So now we're trying to streamline that more so that students have the counseling they need and they can choose a pathway that's going to be of benefit to them later in life, and that we can assist them as best we can to move down that pathway. At this point, I want to talk just for a second about some bond issue results, and then I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Alonzo. But I want to tell you that when I come to you and I've said, we're going to build this with this bond money, please support us, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we've done it. At COC, you will see the results of your efforts. And I know tax bills just came out last week, and if you scroll down, you see community college there. It's not by any means the highest, but it's something where I can tell you your dollars are well spent. We've done exciting things at both campuses, more excitement to come at the Canyon Country campus. We pretty well have built out our Valencia campus. I will just tell you at Valencia there's going to be a new parking structure, which we desperately need as we have grown and as I think we will continue to grow under this new First Promise program. But in addition, we have the Performing Arts Center. I know many of you have been to that. We have the University Center, which is wonderful for upper graduate work. We have the Culinary Arts program. We love to have you come for lunch. So again, hope that you take advantage of the kinds of things that are open to the community, in addition to becoming a student. We have all ages of students at the college, and so we would enjoy that. I now would like to introduce Dr. Edel Alonzo, who is our newest trustee on the board. And I'm not the oldest trustee on the board, either in age or, but I've served 24 years approximately on our board, but Edel was elected last year. I'm so thrilled to have her on our board of trustees, and she was a counselor at the college for many years and a counselor in the William S. Hart District before that, so she knows education. So I'm going to let Edel give you some facts and figures.
Thank you very much, Joan. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having us tonight. And I'm reminded of coming to visit you when I was campaigning, and many of you were very supportive, so thank you for that too. I want to go over some numbers with you. And so I'll begin by saying that we are very fortunate in Santa Clarita to have College of the Canyons. We are one of 113 community colleges up and down the state. And many other states may have maybe a couple of community colleges. So we're very, very fortunate here to have that three-tier system with the community college, the Cal State, and the UCs. The enrollment fees for California residents is only $46 a unit. And even though we just heard tonight that Governor Brown signed a new law so that it will be free for first-time freshmen, all of our other students, though, will continue to pay just the $46 a unit. What you may not have known is that students who are non-resident pay very much more for the same class. So they pay $234 dollars per unit. So students may be in the same class. One's a California resident, pays $46. The student next to them is out of state or out of the country, and they pay much more. We have two campuses, as you know, the Valencia campus, our oldest campus, and now the Canyon Country right up Sierra Highway. We currently have over 30,000 students enrolled. We have 30,734 students. What you may not know is that we don't get paid for every student. We get paid for what is called FTES, or full-time equivalencies. So some of our students may only be taking a 3-unit class, others may be taking 10 units, some may be taking 4 or 5 or 7. The state funds us based on every 12 units because 12 units is considered full-time. And I believe our FTES this year is at 16,676 or so. So that's how our funding goes. Out of all those students, 33% are full-time students, but 66% are part-timers, which means many of our students are working or have children and have many other obligations. Joan mentioned the fact that we offer so many different programs. Well, in fact, we have 82 different associate's degrees. And an associate degree, as you know, means that not only do you have a major or something you're going to specialize in, but you have to be a well-educated, well-rounded individual, so you have to take all your general educations, English and math and history and science and everything else, right? So those are the associate's degree. Many of our students enter the college with their priority being to transfer to the university, but I know the counseling faculty certainly encourages them to earn their associate's degree along the way. But there are students who don't want the college degree, or at least not initially, who say, really, I just want to go and get trained for a job. So all I need is training in welding or media arts or culinary, whatever it may be. And in that case, that student can earn a career technical certificate, which is really job training. Now, I can tell you that as a former counselor, I always think that the more degrees you have and the more certificates you have, the better, right? It builds up your resume. So very often, a student who has earned a certificate degree in one of the career technical areas will have maybe 30 units, and then we will say, well, if you decide to add an English and math and history class, you could end up with a college degree, and many do. So students have multiple goals. They may want career training, they may want a college degree, and then they may change their mind and say, well, I'm halfway there, why don't I transfer to university and go ahead and complete my bachelor's degree? So there's lots of options for students. Of course, we also have students who come there because they really just want to hone up on a particular skill. So we have students who go there just for computer science, for computer technology, and the like. or they're in a particular field, they're in welding, and they come to our college to learn about a specific kind of welding or skill for the job market. And also, of course, we have the University Center, which has 33 different bachelor and master's degrees. So you can actually, the college, I get asked this question a lot. The college is not going to be a four-year university, but the college makes available to our community four-year degrees and master's degree because the universities come to our university center and offer the programs there. So you can stay in Santa Clarita and earn a bachelor's degree or earn a master's degree. And even some of our students go on and complete their studies that way. We mentioned the two campuses, and the Valencia campus is a beautiful campus. I hope you have an opportunity to come and visit if you haven't been there for a while, because we have so many new buildings as a result of the bond measures. So on the top left-hand corner is our Performing Arts Center with lots of offerings in all different arts and music and theater performances. In the middle top is the University Center, where you can earn your bachelor's and master's degrees. Top right-hand is our newest science lab building, Alonzo Lab. We got a very nice new nursing laboratories there. If you haven't seen some of the dummies that they work on as patients, it's wonderful to visit. In the middle is the Tutoring and Learning Center, the TLC, and also the expansion of the library. Bottom left is the new Center for Civic Engagement, and it houses both administration, counseling, admissions, and career center. And the bottom right is Hasley Hall. So all those buildings have been built since the first bond measure that you passed some years ago, Measure C. Our newest building is the Institute of Culinary Arts, and it's a beautiful facility. We have 3 kitchens. We have a baking kitchen, we have a chocolate kitchen, and then we have the regular kitchen. We offer certificate programs in culinary arts and in wine studies. And the faculty has worked on the curriculum and is working on turning that into an associate's degree too, if they want to earn the associate's degree for that. But it's a beautiful facility, and it does make available to the community the opportunity to come and have a lunch there and taste the wonderful treats that our students prepare. So you can see the dining room below, one of the kitchens to the left, and then the building, which is a beautiful facility. I'll let Joan talk to you about Canyon Country.
Talk to you for just a couple minutes. You also have a handout, or there's some at the back table, that basically goes over our Canyon Country campus and what's been going on and what's new and what's been happening. Thank you for holding that up. I know that Michelle mentioned a few upcoming events. The parties are over for the celebration of the 10th, but the Star Party's coming up. There's always activities coming up at the Canyon Country campus, and I sincerely hope that if you haven't been there, you will take advantage of going. At least drive through. When we started that campus, we started, planning for it many, many years ago, before 2000. And then we did the search, and I remember bouncing over in a Jeep or station wagon with looking for the land all over the Canyon Country area. And we found this property, and we think we've done wonders with it as far as developing. But I will tell you that since we've appointed Dr. Thule to come to the Canyon Country campus, these last few years has just been amazing, not only with the growth, but the outreach to the community. And I want to thank him personally for what he has done to bring this campus to you. We're talking about possibly a third location for some classes, some specialized classes in the Canyon Country area. We'll see what develops with that. But our newest buildings, our new building that will be coming with the bond that you just recently passed is our science building and our science lab building, and we're very excited. This will be a permanent building. As you know, there are modulars there. Other than the Applied Technology Center, which is up on the hill, so drive up and see it. You have to turn around and drive back, but go up and see that. The Applied Technology Center has our auto tech program. It has a variety of skilled programs, so I invite you to see that. In addition, though, our campus will be having this brand new science lab building. This is one of many new permanent buildings that will be phased in over the years. But we are excited about the program at Canyon Country. I know you've heard some of the facts before. I just want to mention a couple of quick things, other things that I maybe haven't mentioned, just in general about the college. We appreciate you. We want to hear from you. All of the trustees are available for phone calls, questions. Our administrators are happy to talk with you. We like to get ideas. I know I see Steve shaking his head. Sometimes when you request public documents, it takes a while, but just because we're busy. But I do know that we do want to try to serve you. We have a fiscally responsible board. We have a over 10% reserve that we've kept because we've been through the earthquakes. We've been through the problems that developed that we have to immediately handle. We need to have the safety of our students in mind first at all times. Again, we feel we have a wonderful program with lots of activities at both campuses. Again, I feel, since I'm a resident 45 years in Canyon Country, I'm very proud of our Canyon Country campus. I'm very proud of the college and what it's doing for our students in our nursing program, our Sheriff's Academy, and Police Department Academy, our Fire Academy, our veterans programs for veterans that are coming back. We just reach out to all of these different areas. I just saw that we're starting an autistic program that will be for those people in the valley that have autism, and hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of that. So in conclusion for me, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I know it's getting late, and we'll open it up to questions unless, Edel, you have anything else?
Just to say that the board meets the second and fourth Wednesday of every month throughout the year, but we always have a board meeting on the Canyon Country campus each semester. And the next meeting next Wednesday will be held in the Canyon Country campus, so we invite you to come and see us in action there. Just want to mention one bit of fact here, and that is that 55,000 students have earned units at the Canyon Country campus, and our students are not exclusive to attending one campus or the other. Many of our students go back and forth and will take the class wherever it is available. But we're very proud of the fact that we have already had that many students earn the units there. And this fall, right now, we're offering 291 classes, and that's servicing a total of 9,500 students right now this semester. And you can see the list of some of the science lab building is the first permanent building that was going to be built next, but then we have other things coming online too. Thank you for having us.
We know it's almost 9. You're ready to adjourn this meeting, and but I would be happy to answer one or two questions if there are any questions about College of the Canyons or the Canyon Country campus. Be happy to do that if I can.
Certainly, if there's one suggestion that I could make,
Yeah.
I would like to see public comment move to the beginning of your board meetings so that people can come in. They're not waiting, people that can wait to talk on the agenda item can talk on the agenda item. If there's something not on the agenda, let them be able to come in, say the pledge, say their piece, and they can go on without going through all the recognitions and all the other reports that are given. That's my commentary.
Steve, I think it's a good comment. We do have it where you fill out the card, just the same at city council meetings or whatever, any agency meeting, and we take them and choose different stacks. One is items that are on the agenda, others are items that are not on the agenda. Normally, because the focus of a business meeting is to address the agenda, we take those items in order first, and we ask if you want to speak at the first or if you want to speak on that agenda item when it comes up on the agenda. Most people would prefer to speak first, and so we allow it. We don't have that many people speak. I encourage you. We're really into civic engagement now, and I think it's very important that you come to board meetings, that you watch. We're not really online exactly, but we're there. We're on our site, so you can look at board meetings, and some of them are archived now. But I do encourage you to come to meetings and ask questions and speak up. Fill out a form and say you'd like to speak in general, if you do. But I think it's a good point that what you're saying is you'd like to see those items that are not on the agenda, that the public have a chance to speak to those at the beginning of the meeting rather than waiting to the end of the meeting. Although some of our meetings are really interesting, but others are boring. So I understand.
So if I could just, I opposed Measure E. All right?
I know.
I was the opponent to Measure E.
I know you did.
And the one thing that I'm concerned about is, and I'm coming to the realization I can't change everything, is that the community college districts don't mean anything anymore other than that the people in the district pay the price for the physical structures. Okay? I don't know from your numbers there how many of your students actually come from the Santa Clarita Valley. When I was looking at the number for Measure E, when I saw that 45% of the students coming into this Santa College of the Canyons were from outside of the district, that's when I blew my top.
I remember.
And then I saw that the participation rate in this district is much less than the state average for participation districts. And I don't want to relitigate.
I will be happy to make
But
a
you
couple
talk
quick
about
points.
our students. Our students come from China. Our students come from Pakistan. You send people out to other countries to find more students to put in College of the Canyons.
Well, I'll just make a couple of points. One is our international student program. We do have numerous students in that program that do come from other countries, and we think that that does give a diversity to our student population, but they pay a lot more than our students here. That program does not cost us. We do not subsidize that program. So you're not paying for that program, paying extra to have those students here. Second of all, wait. Yeah, let me just go one more step. Second step is those students that are out of area. When the state ruled that all of the community colleges are open, so there are students in this valley that may go to Antelope Valley because they work out there, so they may take some classes out there, or they may go down to Mission College because it has a special program that we don't offer up here, or they may be involved in something else due to a family commitment in a certain location. So our students, also, our residents, also go to other community colleges. And yes, I understand your concern about the tax bills and the payments that in effect you feel you're paying for some of these students. I will tell you that in the first 2 years of graduation, almost 68% of all of our Santa Clarita High School students, William S. Hart District, come to College of the Canyon. So that's a big percentage, a very large percentage.
You have 5,000 students graduating a year.
No, well,
From Park District. So you get 2 years, that's 10,000. Times 6,800, let's say that's 6,000, let's say that's 7,000 students.
I don't think your figures are correct, but you know what? I'd love to talk to you, Steve. I have no problem going over figures. So I know we're ready to wrap up, and unless there's any other questions in general terms about anything, I want to thank you very much. And Edel, I think I want to. Well, thank you.
I'd like to tell Steve that I think it is a good idea to move the public input to earlier on in the meeting, and I'd like to make the proposal at next week's meeting. I noticed that on campus, the faculty's academic senate just made that change for their own meetings, and I was commenting on what a good idea that was, so we'll be happy to carry that forward next week.
Okay, thank you very much.